Yo, this is SoulDrum86 bringing you another video. Today we're going to be talking about the new update from AEW Fight Forever and what their focus should be and needs to be going forward. It should have been the focus all along. But first, to get it out of the way, I actually like the update. Stadium Stampede, I tried. Stadium Stampede is really not for me. I knew that going in that the mode really wasn't going to be for me. Now, it is fun. There are a lot of issues. I probably did like maybe two rounds. I tried it out twice. And I mean, the main reason for me trying it out, even though I knew it was something that wasn't going to be for me, it was mainly because it was free. It was a free update. So it's like you really can't beat that. You know what I mean? So might as well try it out, even though it's something that I know is not going to be for me. I wanted to give it a chance. And I'll probably never go to it again. With that being said, I do love, as you guys see, I changed Moxley's ring gear. I will say the added ring attires that they do have for like Luchasaurus, Wardlow, Jade Cargill, Chris Jericho, and they got the new Trent Beretta. I feel like a lot of that should have been, and I think a lot of people were expecting it to be patch 1 updates. I thought we would get a patch 1 update along with the FTR if you bought the Elite Edition. So it's cool that they have these ring attires in. It's actually, oddly enough, like, I'm a simple man to please. The added ring attires is actually making me play this game more than just the update overall. They did a lot of stuff. It's making me play the game a little bit more again because it was sitting on the shelf for a while. As you guys know, I've been putting up 2K gameplay footage. I played, you know, the Mortal Kombat beta, so I was putting up stuff for that. But, you know, everything that I've always said about this game, negative or positive, it has a lot of pluses for me. Gameplay wise, again, I've never been one to hate on the graphics. But there's a lot here to enjoy. At its core, I shouldn't say, well, let me not say it's a lot here because the game is bare bones, but there's enough here to, like, you want them to add more and put more in the game. And this patch was a nice step in the right direction. Again, like what? Moxley's got like 6 different ring attires that you can choose from. Jericho's got a few. Wardlow's got like 5. They got the updated Luchasaurus. He's in his heel gear, like how he looks now, is in his black. So they've made some really nice improvements. And I mean, the patch notes are crazy. I don't even know what all the patch notes are because they have patch notes that kind of cover all consoles, and then there's separate patch notes for the consoles individually. So they've been actually working on this game. It's not like they have been truly abandoning it the way that they've made people feel. I mean, the communication has been terrible from THQ. I feel like when you make a game the way that they made this game, and you see the outcry of the community when it comes to this game, saying it's dead, saying it's in trouble like I did, you think that a company would get in front of that and say, listen, guys, we're working on some stuff and we're working on a lot of stuff and you'll be pleased. I just feel like that's good PR. Like every other gaming company does that whenever they kind of mess up and things aren't how they should be. We see other gaming companies do this all the time. If they have a spotty launch, if their launch isn't, like, you know, to its best. Because obviously when you look at everything that they did in this patch, they were obviously working on the game. So all of this quiet, not saying anything, just honestly just doesn't make any sense from a business standpoint. You don't want people to you don't want to make fans think, oh, well, they don't care anymore. I think that was stupid because a lot of us, including myself, were thinking that, oh, the reason why we were saying this game is dead because when you're radio silent and you're not saying anything to kind of shut down those rumors, meanwhile, you come out with this patch and you fix so much. So clearly this whole time you've been working on something. Why they couldn't feel the need to address those to us? You know, you don't have to give us details. Patch notes, you know, nobody ever really 100% talks about like what they're going to be updating. But to at least come on Twitter and tell fans, hey, this is what we're working on, something pretty big. We're doing a lot of fixes. Don't worry, blah, blah, blah. And let us kind of see like what's going to happen with the DLC that we paid for the ones that did pay for it. I want Keith Lee. I want to use Keith Lee. I want to do a video showcasing what the Bunny and Keith Lee are like in this game. And wow, he hit me back. But I want to see what they're going to be like in this game. We don't have any information on when they're going to come. So I don't know. But to the next part of this video, I think the next focus needs to be get rid of mini games. Now, I don't know. Maybe they can't really get rid of mini games if they got a lot of them already done and they're just kind of planned to trickle out and they've already spent the time and resources on them. I don't know how that all works. However, they do need to find a new avenue on on what they want to focus on content wise. We want more wrestlers in the ring, in the ring. We want more wrestlers in the game available to use. We want updated arenas. We want to continue to get updated ring attires for other wrestlers. They need to update Jungle Boy. They need to update Chris Statlander. They need to update Lance Archer. Looks different now from what he looks in this game. So they get more MJF ring gear, Adam Cole ring gear. So there's a lot of stuff that they need to start to focus on. Single player modes. I think the focus from the get-go has been the wrong focus. They haven't been catering to the wrestling fan. They've been catering to people who either don't know what AEW is and is not really wrestling gamers. And I know this because of the interview that came out before this game was released. Nick Sobick and Dave Matthew, I believe is his name. I hope I'm not butchering it. I believe it's Dave Matthew, one of the developers of the game. They kept bringing up, oh yeah, the mini games and, you know, Stadium Stampede are for people who, hey, maybe I don't know what AEW is, but I might want to check this out. Listen, don't cater to anybody other than wrestling fans at this moment. Like, that's with business, period. You want to cater to your audience. Make the product good enough to where you bring people in just based off of how good your product is. Don't make a wrestling game and put all of this other stuff in here that the majority of the audience doesn't want. It's all over Reddit. It's all over YouTube. You can get a pretty good general idea of what we wanted. And I'm not just speaking for myself. I can speak for a lot of people. We want a wrestling game. We don't want AEW Mario Party. Stadium Stampede, look, it's fun, but even a lot of people right now are saying like, look, it's okay. Some people don't like it. Some people say, look, it's fun, but it's not something that I'm going to keep going back to. People want to just play this core game. You know, they talked about how they looked at the analytics before they made this game, and they said, well, judging by what we see online, people want a game that plays like this. They don't want like the hardcore simulation style of WWE 2K. They want something like No Mercy. So that was the main basis of why they got THQ Nordic, and they got these controls from No Mercy back. It was all from the analytics that they pulled. And part of what they missed in what type of wrestling game fans want, they missed the part where it's like, yeah, but wrestling fans also like to create their own shows. They like to create their own stories. They want a ton of match types to play around with. We don't have that in this game currently. Now, when you play Road to Elite, they have interferences. They have handicap matches. They have fatal four-way lights out matches. So why can't these matches be patched into exhibition mode? To me, that seems like it'd be a pretty easy fix, because it's not as if the game can't do it at all. So they need to really start to work on that, man. We need match types. I feel like, look, we need steel cage. It doesn't have to be how Blood and Guts is, but give us a steel cage match. AEW has done a regular steel cage match before. Hell, if you want to, you can call it Blood and Guts. You can call it, because it seems like that's the one cage match that they stick to now. Give us a regular cage match and call it Blood and Guts. Give us updated arenas. I want to play in the Collision arena. You know, not just in WWE 2K with community creations. I actually want to play the game, you know, with the authentic stuff made from the actual company. So their focus needs to shift, and it needs to shift quick, or, you know, they're going to continue to lose people. People are playing this game again for the time being. I don't know how many, but people are playing this game again for the time being. If you look on YouTube, a lot of people have videos up showcasing Stadium Stampede. They're talking about the updates. They're talking about, you know, just all like the patch notes, everything, the new ring attires. Everybody's talking about this stuff. So I think now they need to take advantage, start giving us a roadmap of when we can expect things. Don't just stay radio silent again just because you brought a patch out and just because you brought Stadium Stampede out. Obviously, they were working on stuff, and we had no idea they were working on anything. We had no idea that they were working on anything. But yet they were actually working on a lot, and I do appreciate that. But the radio silence, it's a bad move. That's a bad move. It's a bad move to not cater to what wrestling fans want. Every time I'm on Reddit, every time I'm on YouTube, you constantly see people saying, I want something like a GM mode. I want something like a universe mode. Create a pay-per-view. And I mostly say create a pay-per-view because they compare this game to No Mercy, and No Mercy had that. I also bring up create a pay-per-view because I feel like create a pay-per-view would be easier to do than a universe mode and a GM to start out with. I don't know how long that necessarily takes to add that stuff in. I don't know how long that takes. Not a game developer. I feel like that would take, if they want this to be Fight Forever and they want us to play for a few years, I could see a universe or a GM coming in like a year or so. But for right now, create a pay-per-view, create a show, give us a calendar. We can go through and we can select our shows to be any day we want, or have a template. You got Wednesday Dynamite, but you can switch, say give us the freedom to change the shows around. What if Rampage is the Wednesday show, Dynamite is the Friday show? Or you have, you add in what's the show? Collision. And maybe we make Collision Wednesday if we wanted to, and Dynamite is Saturday. Or again, we can just simply go by what the games give us, the template they give us, and we can just recreate our shows. But I would also say with that, add in interferences, because if you're not going to be able to have cutscenes, interferences can help us come up with stories if we want to start our own feuds. You know, that's what wrestling fans want, man. We've been given that for so long. That's what we want. We want to be able to do that. That's why people gravitate to universe mode and GM when they play WWE 2K. People don't really get NBA 2K or NBA 2. People don't get WWE 2K and not go to those two modes. It just doesn't happen. Whether they get bored of universe mode, that's one thing. But for the most part, WWE's biggest audience is the universe mode players and the MyGM players. Ever since they brought MyGM back, people love that. They've been wanting it back in the games forever. So again, it's just weird that AEW chose the route of, we want to cater to people who maybe don't play wrestling games or don't know what AEW is. No, cater to the wrestling fan. Understand what wrestling fans want in their wrestling game. That's all they have to do. I think this game will be fine if we can continue to get updates. Now, I don't know how many updates we're going to get. I don't know when we're going to get DLC. I don't know how many other wrestlers they want to update and add to the game. I don't know. That process seems to take a long time because, you know, like a couple weeks ago, they finally got the Acclaimed to do their voiceover and scans, their face scans. And that's something that I kind of thought that they just kind of had a lot of the wrestlers already done, but it's just a matter of waiting to roll them out. Like Keith Lee and Bunny and Hook and Danhausen. You know? And I don't know what is taking so long for those wrestlers to you know, come into the fold. I don't understand that. But I just think going forward, the focus has to be for AEW Fight Forever if they want to have this game live on. Because I will continue to play this game if we get good updates, man. If you update the Dynamite arenas, say if we don't get creative pay-per-view for a while, but you update the arenas, I will be back playing this game like I was playing it the first 2 weeks it was out. Because after the first 2 weeks, I felt like I did everything. But just the fact that, like, the game had updates, period, was a win. To see that they did more than just Stadium Stampede, because that's all that was talked about. That was a nice little surprise. I'm not going to lie. The updated ring attires. I remember, last month or so, they showed a trailer of Jericho in this ring gear right now that you're seeing fighting Aubrey, the referee. It was like a lights out match. They were fighting each other. And everybody was saying, okay, when is that? How do we get that ring gear? Is it locked? Is it something that you unlock with Stadium Stampede? Like, what is it? Come to find out, it's just a patch update. It would have been nice for them to kind of say, hey, look, man, we got something nice coming for you guys. Look, we got something coming. Don't hype it up too much because it's just ring attires, but still. In a way, the ring attires is a pretty big deal because the game is so outdated. So the ring attires was actually like what the doctor ordered. You needed to get these ring attires in the game. They needed to do this. They needed to. I know that there's issues with the pin system that they need to fix. There's issues with the matches being too quick. But I'll say this, and I think I've even said it before. Even with the issues during gameplay, matches being too fast, pin system, submission system needing work, even with those problems, I would still play this game so much if it had all those other things that I've been talking about. The updated arenas, updated ring attires. Everybody needs an updated ring attire. Everybody. We need a few for Thunder Rosa. We need some for Sammy. We need some for Ricky. We need some for everybody. Pretty much everybody in this game, except for maybe Orange Cassidy. Everybody needs a new look. Miro needs a new look. Miro needs a new look. New ring gear. He needs his black ring gear.
The following contest is set for one fall.
I'm just saying, they just need to update this game appropriately.
Making his way to the ring.
And it all needs to be wrestling related. No more mini games. People, listen to your audience. People don't like the mini games. There's a small percentage of the audience that's like, oh yeah, the mini games are fun. There's another small percentage of the audience that's like, mini games are cool, but not necessary. I don't need them. I don't care for them. And then there's a huge part of the audience in this game that's like, oh, this is stupid. I don't want to play this. I want to play a wrestling game. I have no need for this. I have no need. I have zero need for this. But yet, you know, this is what they did. And I honestly think that's where they went wrong with this game, but they can fix it. If this update shows us anything, they can definitely fix this. They can turn this around. But the focus cannot be, look, regardless if you like Stadium Stampede, the focus can't be game modes like that anymore. Okay, you wanted to go more arcade. Fine. The game is arcadey enough. Now, it's time to focus on what people want to do in this game. People want to create their own AEW universe without having to continuously go to exhibition. Getting out of the match, going back to exhibition, setting up another match. People want to set stuff up, man. Look on the internet. THQ, AEW. Just look on the internet. Just type in WWE 2K and look at what people are doing. They're not just doing regular exhibition matches. They're doing universe mode. They're doing my GM. Some might even be playing my faction, and that's a very small population of the WWE 2K players. But look at what people are doing. Look at what the wrestling community is doing, and look at what they want to do with these games. People want to enjoy this game. I enjoy this game, but I need more to do. I can't just do exhibition over and over and with the limited match types. That's what really kills it. I think it wouldn't be so bad constantly going to exhibition to do matches if there was more match types. Interferences need to be a thing. Interferences have always been a thing in wrestling games since I was a kid. Come on. We've had this. We've had this. So now it's time. Now it's time to implement these things that the wrestling gamer wants. Because I can tell you right now, wrestling gamers do not want mini games and sadly Stadium Stampede. That's not what we want. We want AEW Fight Forever, the wrestling game. We want AEW Fight Forever, the game where we look. Imagination is one thing. I got a pretty big imagination, but games have been giving us a roadblock to use that imagination. WWE 2K gives you universe mode to use your imagination. You can create your own Raw, your own SmackDown. It could be any kind of wrestling ring you want it to be. You don't even have to choose the rings that they give you. I'm currently doing a universe mode in WWE 2K where I'm using the old school stuff from 1995. That's the sandbox that they're allowing me to play in. AEW Fight Forever needs to allow its fans to have its own sandbox. And if they focus on that, this game can turn around. Even with all of the games coming out, wrestling fans are going to play a wrestling game that they're into. This right here is unacceptable. 2-on-2, 3-on-3, that's it. 4-way match, that's it. No, if in Road to Elite, we can do a lights out version of this match, allow that to be here. Allow that to be here. That's what people want in terms of updates. They said they would update this game over time. They got to hold to that. We just need more. It's a good start, but we need just a little bit more. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know what you feel in the comments. This is your boy Soul Drum 86, and I'm out. Peace.